If you are aiming for CAT 2024, you are at the right place as we are diving deep into the ultimate CAT 2024 preparation strategy that will help you ace this exam and secure your seat at the top B schools in India.
Has changed over the years. The number of questions which are asked increase or decrease. There can be sectional time limits, or there may be a situation wherein the whole paper is a mixed one. There may not be any sectional time limits also. There may not be sectional cutoffs also. These are variations which IIMs have experimented with in the past. But if you look at the last few years, then now IIMs have gone in for standardizing their structure of their test. As a result, there is a standard test which has got three sections of 40 questions each, three sections of 40 minutes each, and the number of questions is also fixed. What type of questions will be asked in those sections are also fixed. Good also at times. So there are lots of non-IIMs which accept IIM CAT scores. For example, FMS Delhi is comparable to the top three IIMs, and the return on investment by joining an MBA program from FMS is even higher than, say, the return on investment from, say, an IIM Calcutta or an IIM Ahmedabad. Then there is MDI Gurgaon, which is an excellent business school. There is IMI Delhi, which is rising up excellently. Then there are business schools which have been created by the IITs, IIT Mumbai and IIT Kharagpur, SP Jain Mumbai, and there are 150 more business schools which are good, which you qualify for if you take the IIM CAT as an examination. So if I look at the admission process for IIMs, then the entrance examination is there, which is IIM CAT. There is a personality test which would include an interview. There would be other aspects to the personality test also, and there is a certain weightage which is given to your profile also. Your academic qualifications, the kind of scores that you got in your 12th, in your graduation, your work experience. There is also a certain amount of weightage which is given to you if you come from a certain gender. For example, if you're a female, then you have a greater chance of getting into an IIM Ahmedabad where a certain extra points are given to female candidates as such. If you look at the structure of the examination, it is a standard one now. It is a 120-minute examination, a clear 2-hour examination. It has a total of 66 questions. There are 3 different sections. The first section is the verbal ability and reading comprehension section. Second is DINLR or data interpretation and logical reasoning section, and a quantitative aptitude section. The verbal ability section and the RC section is clearly defined. It has 24 questions, out of which 16 questions are on reading comprehension, 8 questions on verbal ability. DINLR section has got 20 questions. Again, the time remains the same, 40 minutes. And the quant section or the quantitative aptitude section has 22 questions in 40 minutes. In all of these questions, for getting a particular multiple choice question correct, you end up getting 3 marks. And in case you get it wrong, then you end up getting negatively marked by 1 mark as such. There are certain questions which are not multiple choice questions, and you need to actually write down your answer, or you need to type out your answer. These are questions where the marks are the same, but there is no negative marking. So these are excellent questions, and you have to take care of them. There is an on-screen screen calculator which is provided in the quant section. So your ability to calculate it precisely is not being tested. But yes, what is to be calculated, that is something which you have to be good at. The maximum marks possible in case of this examination are 198 marks because 66 multiplied by 3 is equal to 198. But surprisingly, if I look at what are the highest scores expected out of you in order to get into the best business schools, are on the lower side. If you end up scoring about 50% score in this examination, you end up qualifying for the best of business schools also. So if I look at the 99 percentile, then 99 percentile on IIM CAT would translate into an overall score of somewhere around a 97 out of a 198. So this is what our final targets are. You do not need to be 100% impeccable and capable of doing each and every question correctly in order to get into the best of business schools. Instead, getting a score of 50% is more than enough. For strategy subject-wise, then reading comprehension requires that you have to be somebody who's got a great vocabulary. You'll have to learn a lot of new words, and you'll have to improve your vocabulary. You have to become a good reader. You have to spend a lot of time reading various books, newspapers, magazines, and novels also. You need to get an exposure of different subjects so that you become a wider reader. Only then you'll have the fundamentals in place which are required for reading comprehension. The same are the fundamentals of para-jumbles, odd one out, para-summary, and para-completions. Then, in case of quantitative reasoning, you need to cover up your 8th, 9th, 10th level mathematics, and as a first step. But please do not worry about deriving the binary theorem or some other thing as such. Instead, straight away go in for looking at how to solve questions. There's data interpretation and logical reasoning, which are other areas. They do not require a certain foundation, but then yes, whatever hard work you do in case of quantitative reasoning, it is going to help you in data interpretation, logical reasoning. Whatever ability to read better you will pick up while preparing for reading comprehension, etc., all of that is going to help you in handling data interpretation and logical reasoning faster. So data interpretation and logical reasoning can be considered as somewhere in between whatever is required in case of the English part and the maths part of this examination. In terms of time management techniques for preparation, remember, there are different time management techniques which you need to develop during IIM preparation. During IIM preparation, please do not worry about attempting questions faster in the beginning. In the beginning, you have to focus upon learning how to get the questions correct. Once you develop an accuracy level of somewhere around 95 to 100%, that is the stage wherein you need to start worrying about doing the same questions in a shorter amount of time. In less amount of time, you will make more mistakes when you do questions faster, and then you'll have to learn how to attempt questions with 100% accuracy, although you are giving them less amount of time during the preparation. When you are taking mock exams, that is the stage wherein you will learn something new, which is called as test dynamics. And that stage, you also have to learn not only how much time to give to a particular section or to a particular question, you also have to understand in which topics are questions such that you take more time with them. So you'll have to take a decision about, do I attempt those, even though I know how to do those questions, do I attempt those questions, do I leave those questions? So remember, in mock exams, you are not learning which questions to attempt, you are learning which questions to leave out because there is negative marking. A lot of students mess up their scores because of negative marking, not because they got more questions correct. So I see a lot of students who are excellent, who can get a 99 percentile or 100 percentile, but they have decreased their percentile scores because they've been attempting too many questions as such. So mock exams is a time when you get a clear idea about the real exam. And remember, when you come to the actual examination, it will be just like a normal mock exam for you. And during the actual examination, your strategy and your time management techniques would depend on the kind of question paper that you come across. You all, when you go for your IIM examination, you will have a clear idea about what kind of an examination am I expecting. The real examination will have about 10 to 15% of the questions which will come as a surprise for you. These are questions that you will not have prepared for. Do not worry about these questions. So if on the examination, you come across a question which simply escapes your brain, then in that situation, tell yourself this is the kind of question which I have to leave. This is not the kind of question which I need to target. So during actual examination, the dynamics which you are going to use will be completely different. In case of the IIM selection process, remember, during IIM preparation, you'll have to take care that you understand the fundamentals, work upon them, then you practice questions, and at later stage, once you develop a certain amount of accuracy, you decrease amount of time per question. During mock exams, you fine-tune your strategy and you get a clear idea about what kind of a score am I going to get in the real examination. When you go for the actual examination, then the actual examination has its own set of criteria, and they are the final ones.